What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today, I want to talk to you about Palantir. I want to go over some of the current data points, what's been coming out from the company itself, and where I see things going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is down 3.68% within the first about 2 hours of the trading day. 35.98 million shares being traded, 60 is the average. At the time of doing this video, no SEC filings, no press releases, nothing like that. Rather, it is just pulling back with a lot of the other growth stocks that did rally the tail part of last week. So in reality, it's a little bit more of a consolidation. At the same time, you are having a lot of articles coming out, not necessarily this one's from Zacks, but a lot of Bazinga and Motley Fool articles coming out saying that Palantir is overvalued. And their reasoning is, oddly, that comparing short interest and just the metrics of Palantir is considered overvalued, which I feel is a very big flaw. And what they mean by that is looking at the PS ratio for Palantir, for instance, is 19.3x versus the future is 16.3. If you look at C3AI, which typically is a very common comparison for Palantir, so the PS ratio right now for them is 12.3 and the future is 10.5. So once again, if you are comparing the two, essentially, if you didn't know anything about Palantir or whatever else they did, yes, on paper, you would see that Palantir is overvalued and probably due for about a 30 to 40% drop, potentially. That again is just looking on the face value on the metrics. Similarly, a lot of people are saying that you need to compare the short interest, which is a very flawed mentality because right now Palantir does have a short interest of 8.21%. C3AI does have around 4%. Of course, people are associating the higher short interest with more risk and more doubt, essentially. So once again, I'm not a financial advisor though. That could be very credible mentality. So let me know your thoughts on that. Shorts as of right now are returning 1.71 million shares, 159.26 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is 0.74%. And once again, as I've brought up in the past, not necessarily with Palantir, but I bring this up as a benchmark, not because I feel Palantir is going to be a short squeeze play, because I don't. So once again, that's something just to consider. And the way I analyze this information, so the fact that shorts are returning 1.71 million shares and it being a red day kind of shows that they feel that it's an overreaction. So once again, Palantir really did have a kick-ass earnings and it really set the trajectory for it for the foreseeable future. But once again, what do I know? I'm not a financial advisor. Through the Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate that there's more than 10 million shares available to be shorted. So if Palantir was really overvalued, you would be having shorts double down pretty significantly. So let me know your thoughts on that. When it comes down to Palantir, some of the latest analyst ratings that have been coming down the pipeline over the last little bit have been fairly positive, with exception of the one that came out today by William Blair. There was no price target made, but it was a sell, and Louis does have a 62% success rating, which is kind of good for analysts somewhat. And aside from that though, a ton of other analysts kind of mixed. So you have a $10 one, $11, $5. So you do have clearly a lot of people just very much looking at the multiples, and maybe that is their reasoning for having a lower price target, but who knows? Let me know your thoughts on that. If you are looking for a lot of good compiled information such as analysts ratings, forecasts for upcoming earnings, and Morningstar reports, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all of this information to be completely free. And actually, while I'm on here, the latest Morningstar report does show the fair market value being $11. So maybe some analysts are taking that into consideration just based on the true assets. But no matter what, Palantir and AI is so new to the market. Even though it's been out for a couple of years now, it is still relatively new. People don't know what the appropriate multiple and evaluations are on this. So once again, Cathie Woods and a lot of other bigger names still really do like Palantir and have been adding. So who knows? Let me know your thoughts. This is the latest round of 13Fs showing disclosures to the SEC on what some companies have done. It is kind of mixed, so nothing really standing out to me. So this is still a lot of the smaller fish. You will have a lot of the bigger players disclosing their position by the end of this week. So that'll be BlackRock, Vanguard, and many of the other bigger players. So still not too bad when it comes down to this. And I'll give you an overview of options. I know the market's been only open about 2 hours, but still take this with a grain of salt. $11 million in calls being purchased versus 3.96 million in puts. So based on this, people are anticipating for it to trend up. So once again, you do have shorts, which is very optimistic. You have the options activity, which is also very optimistic. So obviously, I think it is fair to assume that maybe today is a overreaction. Looking at some of the open interest for the calls, it is anticipated to be roughly between, it looks like $19 and $20 by the end of next week. And for the bearish viewpoint, it is anticipated to be sub 16. So kind of both extremes. But let's talk on the technicals. What is that saying? So right now with it at $18.30, it is flirting with this R2. So as it stands, 1742 is going to be that next strong line in the sand, very strong support. Vice versa, 1982 is going to be that next strong resistance. And so as it kind of figures out where it wants to land between either the R1 and R2 or R2 and R3, we'll find out today ultimately, but it is, as it stands, flirting with it. Looking at some other additional data points, number of retail investors are getting out today, and stochastic is considered at 90. Very bullish though, so black line above the red, but 90 is considered overbought. So you do have a little bit more mixed feelings. So the technicals I do feel need to consolidate, which I'm sure a lot of other growth stocks are showing the same kind of data points. So most likely today is just a consolidation day, like I said. But behind the scenes, you do have a lot of bullish data points to kind of justify a continuation of a uptrend. So let me know your thoughts on Palantir. Do you think it is going to continue to trend up? Do you think it's going to go down? What's your viewpoint on Palantir? And give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying over the last little bit, selling? What's your take on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, Moomoo has a kick-ass promo. So just sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, and you also get 1 free share of 𝗖𝗧. And any cash that you do actually have in this account, you are going to be earning 5.1% APY. So this is one of the best deals that you can get on the market. So for $100, you get 6 free stocks and also collect 5.1%. Kind of a no-brainer. Link in the description below and also comments. So take advantage of that only up until November the 20th. Link in the description below and also comments. And with all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.